Welcome to a brand new episode of Geektopia. My name is Adam Carruthers, and within Geektopia, we have lots of little segments so we can easily access and divide everything. Divide and conquer, as they like to say. No, it doesn't really make sense in this conversation. Doesn't matter. This is Geek Squad. We sit down, we review a movie which has been recommended by you sitting there at home watching or wherever you're enjoying this content. And then we all decide, okay, let's do it. Following week, we all sit down and dissect what we've already seen. So in the conversation today, we have the Chief Jantan, we have Hadis the Goddess, we have Aaron, we have Puppy Zach, dressed up to the nines as usual, Pratik Naidu, and Grumpy Carvin J. So I'm just going to say what the name of the show is. It's Rurouni Kenshin, the final, and a bit of context needed here. So from what I gathered, Chief Jantan had seen it or was at least familiar with Rurouni Kenshin, or I actually knew it as Samurai X. I didn't realize this till after. Hadis, do you have any idea about it?
No.
Okay, so you didn't. Carvin J, you've never watched an anime before, right?
I wouldn't say I would have ever watched an anime before, but I didn't watch this one, that's for sure.
Okay, Aaron recommended it, so goes without saying. And Puppy Zach, who speaks fluent Japanese, is a huge fan of Japanese content in any form, also is very well aware what it is. Pratik, what about yourself?
I do watch anime, but I wasn't aware of this one.
Okay. Second bit of
millennials these years.
Second bit of context needed. I asked last week, I said, do I need to watch the previous installments? And everyone said, no, it's fine. You watch it.
Wait, I said you should try and watch it.
Aaron and Zach said, no need, just watch. So watching this movie was not an enjoyable experience. Straight up. I told this to Zach already.
Okay, so in my defense, you're
an idiot.
Okay.
Go on.
I second that. Thank you.
I guess I was watching like the characters. Like I know you were mentioning like who's this guy? Who's this guy? Like, but they weren't impactful to like to the main plot of the story.
They weren't, but it didn't make sense to the movie for me. It was like.
It didn't have to make sense.
The 10 swords or something, the Wanderers, I can't remember the name of these groups. I was like, who are you talking about? Who's this person coming to rescue them at the end?
It's like the Knights of Ren. Like, who the hell are the Knights of Ren?
No, for me, it was like jumping in and watching Captain America Civil War, for example, and not having watched any of the previous Captain Americas, or jumping into the fourth Harry Potter movie or book and being like, oh, okay, I'm just not going to know anything about this, and suddenly jump in like, who is Kenshin? Like, what? He's an assassin. He doesn't kill. I only discovered at the end he's using like a blunt blade or something.
They say it throughout the whole entire
I didn't understand it. If I only understood it once I went online to read up about it. That's the only time. Then it was like, okay, then the movie went up a level. But for me, as a standalone movie, it was bad because I couldn't invest myself in it.
Yeah.
The action looked good. It looked pretty, but I didn't know what was happening.
Yes. Okay. This is the problem with people who watch movies these days. They have to analyze every single bit as just watch the whole movie lah.
That's the whole point of these shows,
and then come back and then be like, oh, okay, watch the whole movie. You guys are just as annoying as those girls who be like, it's a bad guy ah. Hey, I haven't started ah. Oh, bad guy lah.
Okay. Okay, the beginning is actually happening on releasing on the 30th of July, which is
already out lah.
No, not yet.
I can see it on Netflix.
You only can watch the trailer.
The trailer. Only the trailer,
okay,
not
okay.
the origin of the story, which is gonna release on the 30th of July. So you will have a bigger picture of who is he and what he does.
Yeah, but the point is, you guys shouldn't say like, oh, you can watch this and you understand everything. I agree. You don't.
On top of that coming out on July 30th or whatever, there were also 3 movies of the same actors before this. That would have gone a long way to explaining what was happening in this movie. Like, it was a really annoying and uncomfortable experience. Like, I had to pause it so many times to watch this.
It's my bad, okay? It's my bad. And I just came from the point of view of like, oh, everybody knows about Captain America and the X-Men. So but they don't really know who the character, the real like the specific mutants are. You just watch it, right? And then eventually you'll be like, do your research.
I think, in Adam's defense, like there's too many characters here.
That's the whole point I was gonna make. Look, if they added 1 or 2 characters, it's fine, right? every single beat of that movie they added one character, which you didn't. There was the 10 swords, there was the Captain Aoshi or whatever the hell his name is, and then there was and then there was the villains as well, because they added the guy with the gun. Who the hell is that guy?
Oh, Kaveh,
It's just some guy.
Don't
Just some
forget,
guy, just some guy.
don't forget at the end, the guy that it looks like he's about to attack Kenshin. And then he says, "I'm now a wanderer after you beat me." I was like, "Who the hell are you?" I have no idea who you
There's
are.
2 members of the 10 swords nonsense.
Yeah.
Who
The
you
thing
don't
is,
know what they do.
in defense of Zack and Aaron, and I guess TL as well, Chief Jantan, I can imagine that if I knew all the characters, if I'd seen all the movies, it would have been so exciting to watch it and say, "Wow, he's in it. Oh, he's there. Oh, this is so cool." But because I didn't have that background, it had zero. In fact, it had negative impact on the viewing experience for me.
But okay, just going on what you're saying, Adam. Haven't seen all the movies, haven't seen all the series and everything, knowing every single little bit of details, right? Their cameos was just like, well, what's the point?
I don't know that because I haven't watched the other ones.
No, but I'm just saying, like, as a guy who watched it, they were like,
Yeah.
This 20-minute movie could have been shorter, but I guess for it's
fan service.
Fan service.
It is
They'd be
fan
like,
service.
Oh yeah, great.
Fan
Okay,
service works though, because you look at like the Marvel universe, it's all about fan service. But yeah, I mean, I ended up watching a bit of this anime movie, Trust and Betrayal. I was like, okay, now this is actually good, and it was a far more engaging experience because that's like chapter 1, part 1, and it's part of Rurouni Kenshin as well. But anyway, that aside, I had to throw it in. I want to know what Prateep Naidu thought of the movie.
Before I give my opinion, is this like sort of an equivalent to like Infinity War or Endgame for this series?
No.
Because when watching the movie, because I don't know the anime or anything like that, when you have like those cameos, I felt like it was like, towards the end of Endgame, suddenly Falcon appears. The sorceress appears. I felt it was like that. But saying that, I actually enjoyed the movie, and I messaged Aaron yesterday saying that I actually really enjoyed it. I want to watch all the previous films now, and looking forward to that prequel that's coming in the future. The action in it is amazing, super good. The choreographer did an amazing job. The stuntman, stuntwoman. The characters, the main characters for me, they were really good. Especially that police officer. He's always smoking. I think that's his sort of character trait. But doesn't he get out of breath fighting or stuff? But in the end of the day, it's for me, the story is I enjoyed it, but it's quite as simple. It's like a revenge story.
Yes.
And the villain is his brother-in-law.
Let's jump to Hadis the goddess. What did you make of it?
I agree with you, because when I watched it, I was lost. Who are these people? What do they do? What is the purpose? Who died? Who are you revenging? So for me, it was as you said, I had to pause and then go Google and find out who are these people. And then I found out that the enemy is the Samurai X and all that. So I'm it took away the joy of watching the whole movie at once. I couldn't do that because I didn't understand it. So I had to pause and Google and, keep searching, who is this guy, like how Adam said. So it took away that, the joy of watching a movie from beginning to end without a pause or anything. But I do give it a rate for doing the action. I really enjoyed the action. I really enjoyed the whole mood and theme of it. And overall, I did enjoy the film. It's just I didn't enjoy that not knowing who are these people.
Yeah, it really takes you out of the movie. But the action was just phenomenal. Carvin, I can see the tummy shaking. Your legs are moving. I know you have things to get off your chest. So go ahead.
Get off his belly.
Watching this movie felt like being in an orgy I didn't want to be in.
Has that happened to you before?
Yes, a few times. But also, that's a different story though. Different joke. But here's the thing. I mean, look, I really wanted to be into it, but however, I felt like I was out of place because, they kept introducing new characters, which basically I'm like, okay, I haven't got over the last character yet. Why you giving me this character? And then, the bad guys. I really wanted to feel for this movie, but I can't. It feels like very much you need to be a fan of the universe before you can actually get into this movie. And the thing is, coming into it dry, it was just for me, cannot it's very difficult. I mean, yes, it made me want to know about the the characters. It made me want to know about what can happen next and what happened before and stuff like that. But I mean, watching it was rather painful, lah. And the fact that I had to explain to my wife who's a girl, who's a guy. It's quite difficult.
Who's a girl? Who's a guy?
Yeah.
Doesn't she have a PhD?
Yes, she does. And she's like, which one's the girl? I'm like, I don't know. And to be fair, I mean, look, and if you look at it from outside the box, like I am, basically all this whole 2.5 hours movie can be solved by just talking to each other. Can you all talk? Just stop fighting and talk to each other. Okay. Your sister died. I understand. Go, hey, tell the brother why she died. Like, the fact
The
that
brother saw it. What?
yeah, he saw the death. He didn't see why. He didn't see why she protected him, because she wanted to protect him. Like, she fell in love with him, and he's like, "Oh, you killed my sister." No, I didn't. Your sister came there. What you want me to do? Talk lah, talk.
Should have
Can
gave
you
the
have a
diary
conversation?
But
earlier.
you still,
cannot.
the blade still killed the
And then the police fellow. So I mean, like, look, I get it. Like, they were led into a trap, blah blah blah, and all this. And talk lah, talk. Talk to the fellow who was a spy. Maybe you'll realize if you did some investigation, it was a bloody trap lah. I mean, I saw it a mile away when the fellow was telling him like, "Oh, you need to go there." Like, it's a trap. It's a trap. It's a trap, guys. Like, don't simply go walk in. Your police officers gonna. You won't die because you're smoking, but everybody else will die. Okay, like stop it lah. Stop it. Just talk. Okay, there's too much problems in the world. Just talk and all. Just stop fighting. Okay, put away your sword. Okay, put away your bloody whatever gun hand. This thing. Just talk.
Is this good marriage advice as well?
No, it's good samurai advice. Okay.
Just double checking that. Just double checking. But now, since your wife can't tell between male and female, now I can gather why you've grown the beard. Just to help her along the way. Say, I am a male. See, manly beard. Let's get to the three guys who actually have a background understanding the show, the movie, and the series as a whole. Starting with, let's go with Chief Jantan here, the director's perspective, because like Prateep said, like Hades said, and I mentioned as well, the action, the cinematography, the look was so beautiful. I don't know much about Japanese history. I just have a vague understanding, but wow, it was just stunning to look at, with elements of steampunk thrown in as well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it came from the manga, right? The way they dress, everything like that. It just came from the manga, which I read the manga. I didn't really watch the movie before. Didn't watch the anime. But aesthetically, looking at it, it's really beautiful. The way they use the slow-mo, really well done. It's not like super extended like Zack Snyder kind of slow-mo, But they did it like, remember that shot where he was just running through the crowd of fighting people?
At the end.
Yeah, towards the end. And then Misao comes in, and then Sano comes in and punches someone. Just beautifully shot and beautifully choreographed. Even the action scenes were all beautifully choreographed. It's not a lot of special effects, which is something that Black Widow should have done.
Yeah.
But all of this were all done by most of the stunts, I think, by the actors themselves.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, by the actors themselves. So, and it looked good because of that.
Yeah.
Right. It looked great. The action scenes were great. The sets were great. So aesthetically, I mean, this movie is brilliant. And they put in so much into one movie. But it didn't feel like, because I understand the background, it didn't feel like too much. Yeah, that's for me.
Hey, Aaron, I know you're probably the biggest fan of this. Why? What has drawn you to it? What's got you excited about it? What do you like about the movie? Are there any flaws in it?
Okay, so back I think I was in primary school when we have like TV3. That time during 7 p.m. they will have like this short Samurai X on. They have one. Like then they transfer it to like I think NTV7 morning in the weekends, So I followed this story for quite some time, and then they released the live action. So every live action you have an expectation is gonna be shit. I will have the expectation is gonna be shit. But this one totally changed my whole perspective. The story wise, like you said, like some characters like you don't understand like where does it come from. But if you watch the very first one which is released back in 2012, if I'm not mistaken, there's a very little details on the rest of the characters. Like the guy with the gun, it just appeared in the final. Like I also question, why these characters suddenly appeared. Like I don't know where they come from. But I guess it's just like a typical anime where like suddenly a character come out of nowhere and then goes on rampaging lah. It happens in anime a lot. That's why anime has a lot of bloody villains in one show. So I kind of get it. But the whole point I like this movie that really captivate me is definitely the cinematography and the freaking choreography of this thing. I am so impressed by each and every actors that they train for years. We're talking about like, because there's a few movies behind, but they train for like so long just to get everything perfect. And the director of the movie, I like the scene where in the final where when they sit down and then Kenshin explained that I never knew in the background he actually murdered his wife. I had no idea until the final. So I was like, what's going on? Just like I was like thinking, what the hell going on? Like I stabbed my wife, and I'm like, yo. That scene when they shot it, it is so beautiful. Like the bag, the light and everything, it captivates my emotion even more. And I know there's a lot of why, who, what, where, and when, all these questions. That is why I'm waiting for the release of the 30th of July. Like I want to know his origin. He's an assassin who went mad, who fights for the dynasty, wanted peace, okay, and in the end that he did all this just to have peace, but he feel guilty about what he's done, so he promised that he's not gonna kill again.
Yeah.
He's not gonna kill again, and now he's being forced into that life is because of his past is haunting him again. So I don't know what happened in the beginning. That's why I am really excited what actually the origin is, because the manga only it's not fully explained. Like it's more
Beginning.
not so dark, not so dark the beginning. Even the wife, like I don't know where it come from. So maybe it will feel more holes in the coming one, which is the beginning on the 30th of July. That is what I want. I watched this movie. Okay, yes, part of it is the story, but the whole thing is so freaking eye pleasing.
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys, but it's just beautiful to me.
Yeah, because I think Aaron's very excited about specifically about Rurouni Kenshin is because it's the best, I think, by hands down, anime to live action transition.
Let's go and get some ratings in. So Chief Jantan, for someone that grew up and only read the manga as opposed to watching the series or the animated movies, how did you find this movie?
I'll give it a 8.
An 8. That is a good ranking. Hadis the Goddess?
I'll give it a 7.5 for cinematography, the makeup, all the visuals, and the whole feel of the movie and the action. 7.5.
Carvin J.
I'd give it a 6, only because the whole circle jerk thing and stuff like that. But this, like, look, the way the movie is made is great. As an outsider coming in, I guess, looking at the movie, I just finished playing Ghost of Tsushima as well. And it really got me into the whole, the Japanese, I love the whole aesthetic of it. It's very nice. It's very well done. But yeah, 6.
Aaron, yourself, what's your rating for this movie?
Okay, because I know the story, I watched the rest one. I have to give it a 9.5 because it's one of my all-time favorite, because I've seen from the beginning until now.
Yeah, rub it into the rest.
So I would encourage everyone to watch it. If you enjoy the final, go and watch the 2012 one.
No, watch the 2012 one, then you'll enjoy the final.
Yeah.
That's correct.
Enjoy it much better.
Yeah.
Prateep Naidu.
For me, I give it a 7.
On to the final man who has a weird way of thinking about life. Puppy Zach, what's your rating for the movie?
I'm gonna give it a 8.5, just because I thought that the story was great, everything, everyone's there, but it was kind of long for trying to squeeze into all that storyline. It could have been shorter, but yeah, 8.5.
Yeah, look, you already have my rating. I've given it 2 rating. So one is a 4 just because I didn't know what was happening. The other one, as a film and how it looked, it was at least an 8 for me. So somewhere in between. I'm sure it would be an all-out 8 on both fronts if I had watched the previous films, or film at least the first one, as opposed to jumping straight into this. But as a relatively new fan to manga and anime, yeah, it was pretty cool. As some of you know, I've Demon Slayer, Full Metal Alchemist. I've been watching quite a bit, to say the least. So, okay, so for next week, I think we'll go with another film which just came out this month. It's one of those films that seems to be liked by fans, the viewers, based on Rotten Tomatoes, I think, more than the critics. So let's give it our own personal spin on it. It's called The Tomorrow War. It's got Chris Pratt in it. I'm not expecting much. I think it's purely a popcorn film, which there'll probably be a lot of plot holes in it, but I don't care. Just want to enjoy something where you don't really have to think. So are we settled with The Tomorrow War for next week?
Yes.
Yeah, you better do your research too about Tomorrow War. You know, the origins of what the cameos of all the things that are coming.
You gotta watch Yesterday War, Today
Yeah.
War, and then after that you gotta watch
The Day After Tomorrow
Day
War.
Before Yesterday
War, the
That's the
Future War.
prequel coming out later.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, you know, the concept of trilogies has gone in Zach's mind. I mean, Lord of the Rings trilogy. Skip the first two. Return of the King was best. Just watch that. It doesn't matter.
I didn't like it. But
What?
okay.
Zach, we cannot be friends, Zach.
Why? Because there was too much character development there for you, Zach. Is that why?
Hey, what's the difference between one orc and the other orc? What? Why do they keep sending the same kind of orcs in? But why does one orc all skinny and like no hair? One orc got hair.
Too much for you. I know
Too much.
TL's a fan of
All this
Lord of the
orc racism
Yes,
is pissing me off, Zach.
Rings. Yeah. Orcism. All right, perfect. We are settled for next week. Thank you very much for that. I'm just going to wrap it up. Like, share, and subscribe if you have a recommendation for a movie, preferably. If it's a TV show, it'd be awesome if it was one of those 5-episode kind of TV shows, which won't take too long. Then leave a comment for that as well. And you can join in the conversation with us. Okay, this is all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of us signing out. Till next time. Bye.